So this is Subnautica. I played it off and on for several months, and then I get tired of it, and then they release a new update, and then I go through the update, and then I play through the update, and then I get kind of tired of it, and I keep going back and forth like that. But let's see where. There we go. But I thought I would show off some of the things that I've done in Subnautica. And because of how far away I am from my base and the fact that that's what I want to go over, I'll clip out some parts here. So as I do go back, and you guys have seen these things, notice that I have these notes like brain crabs, because there's some brain crabs over there. There's triped deadpan, because there's some tripedal critters over there, and they're wandering around on deadpan. There's B6. I don't know what B6 is. Underground junctures where there's some underground shit, and there's a juncture there. And those are all in the distance, and I wish I knew how far away they were, because that's useful information to have. But I don't. And Cyclops is fucking slow. So let's go through the Cyclops. This is one of 2 submarines that you're able to construct. This is the large one. As you can see, I've named this the Kobayashi Maru. And it's got a bunch of stuff. I've built and added some power charging things, some plants with edible stuff. I have some fish here. And I have a fuck ton of storage things that I've added, because I've been looking for a place to add a second base. And I found one place that it'd be interesting to add stuff to. And I decided I have to terraform it too much to make it worthwhile. And yes, you can actually terraform things. It's got these 5 built-in lockers, but they're pretty small, and if you do a lot of gathering, you see they can fill up very fast. This is the smaller of the 2 vehicles. This large one is called, I may have said already, the Cyclops, and we'll show you why. And this other one is called the Sea Moth because I don't know. Here we are in the Eudora, and this is the Cyclops. As you can see, it has one large eyeball in front, and yeah, that's it. When you first construct it, it's pretty drab, with a white and gray color scheme, and I didn't like that. I decided to make it more colorful. So let's go ahead and go over to the initial starting point, which is that little spacecraft looking thing off in the distance. Let's go ahead and give you a look at the Eudora. It's kind of brightly colored just because. And yeah, you can build additions for it. I have this sonar ping that will ping the bottom. Kind of irritatingly, things that should show up on the sonar don't. There are wrecks of a spacecraft laying around that should show up very obviously. Actually, even that bit of floating titanium should show up on radar, but it doesn't. I get the idea that they're trying to make navigation easier with it, but no. Now, you did see, as I got out of the Cyclops, an island. You can see it off there in the distance, shrouded by clouds, and the graphics card not drawing that far out. And as far as I can tell, there's basically one main landmass that pokes up out of the water. And then there is an island held aloft by some type of holding aloft type of animal. Similar to a jellyfish. There's a cavity full of air that can, provide buoyancy. This is like a sea manatee fucking thing. And if you check it out, he's pretty docile until he farts everywhere. And those little shit bombs are poisonous, and you obviously wouldn't want to be swimming around in raw sewage. So don't swim in that. This over here is the USS or the whatever Aurora that you were on, and it crashed. And in the crash, you were ejected into that little blob that you can see off there in the distance. Now, some of the frame hitching that you saw right there, that's why I spun around, is because this is, I guess, an early release. Well, it is an early release game, and not everything is entirely optimized, but things have to load in as you approach them. I have done some repair work on this. There is a fire extinguisher that appears to be only used for extinguishing this, and everything's busted except for this fabricator, which you can use to make a variety of things, such as water, food, tools, and a lot of the challenge of the early game is just finding enough stuff to start your own base so that you're not entirely dependent on this little escape pod. And where more than likely everyone builds their very, very first base is right here, which is why I call it one small step. My other base will likely not be called a giant leap, but you never know. I have a garden here with a couple of different kinds of mushrooms. These mushrooms I used to make batteries. Those mushrooms, I just have those mushrooms. There's a little, hentai monster here. He doesn't do anything though. You can collect stuff, a few different plants that you can grow here so that you can eat them. Actually, as I think about it, that is the only edible free-range plant. You can also make this brain coral, which for whatever reason produces oxygen that you can collect as you swim around. And I have some ornamental stuff, like this big-ass jelly shroom. It doesn't do anything except house some type of fucking eel that will kill the shit out of you. But if you grow that jelly shroom on your own as opposed to where you find it, you'll be fine, because the eel isn't here. And this is my base. I have this dog-shaped thing out here. This is my moon pool, where I have my second sea moth. It's actually my first sea moth, but you saw the other one first. Little transponder here giving me the heads up on where I need to go. And I have these observation decks just because I had materials and I wanted to do something with them. And yeah, you can pretty much build anything you can think of as long as it's made out of tubes and these connectors. So if you ever had, oh god, what was that toy called? It's made out of wooden dowels. I'm gonna look that up. Tinker Toys. Yes. Absolutely Tinker Toys. So, you can build anything you like as long as you can make it out of Tinker Toys, basically. But here's this, entrance I have here to my home. As you can see, it's my home because I have a little sign there that says, "Welcome home." Come in here to my observation deck, spin around on my chair and look around. Or wander back in through the many, many doors that I've made. This is my bedroom. It's got a nice aquarium underneath it, a fuck ton of fish in it, which I could eat if I so chose, and they would breed anew as long as there's two of them. But I haven't seen fit to molest this particular ark until stuff gets out of control. Like there's a lot of spadefish, the catfish things with the big eye on top, that I might take care of. I have a nice desk here with some scientific tools, coffee maker that I can't actually get coffee out of, and I have a nice little Chinese potato plant next to the bed. And hanging on, I got to drink my own piss. Okay. Notice that you lose food value when you drink your own piss. But I kind of like my base. It has a lot of glass. I think it makes sense in the sense that, you know, all this glass allows me to keep an eye on the visual integrity of my base while I'm wandering around, so I don't have to constantly be doing around. I mean, kind of like if you had leprosy, you know, always doing a visual self-inspection. But, you know, I have this nice little duffel bag, another fabricator here in my base. I have a modification station. I have a very aggressive screenshot that I took for the sole purpose of posting it on Reddit, because everyone on Reddit likes to bitch about how no one in Subnautica knows how to take a screenshot. And so I took a lot of screenshots, just nested. And going down, we've got some power supplies. This is my bioreactor, and that houses a dark secret that we'll get to later. Here is the Ishimura, which is my other Seamoth, and I'll point out because this is probably not obvious, but this one is the Ishimura. My other Seamoth is called the Eudora. It's both ships out of Dead Space. So I think the Eudora was from Dead Space 3. Now here is this little scanning thing, and it's pretty fucking useless. Like really, really fucking useless. You've got these little pods, and they have like no range at all. And you get this weird kind of visual artifact with your, you know, your little location beacons. But you can swim and explore these little caves, which I obviously already know about. As you can see here, the large versions of the jelly shrooms, they can be scary. Maybe we'll see why. Here's some thermals in that cave. As far as I can tell, this probe doesn't take any damage. Oh shit, this probe does fucking take damage! These thermals are nice because it's just like I have that reactor that uses biological materials. You can also build a reactor that uses thermal energy. And this is what I was saying about how useless this is. If you can see, my distance from the base is 350. And now granted, I am underground in a cave, so that does provide some interference, but I mean, this is useless for exploring. This is pretty much just like a vanity thing. And I could leave this here and go to my other camera, and like this one could explore too. And I can just leave it there. Come back to my first camera. And bring it on home. So some more of the stuff about my base. I've tried to build it so that it would make sense, as I mentioned. You know, with all the glass, I can keep an eye on everything. And also, it's just nice to wander around in glass corridors and underneath the ocean. I don't know if you guys have ever had the opportunity to do that, but yeah. So this is the way to that power generator room. I do have some solar panels. Let's show you those. So yeah, here's my solar panels. I just have them sitting up here, you know, being all solary. You can see I have a couple spotlights just off into the void. Okay, so here's my bioreactor. You can see it's got stuff in it. The bioreactor composts organic energy, items into energy. Over here is my cabin. This is that, you know, there's my bed right there, and these are all the fish here. Let's go ahead and grab a spadefish for dinner. You know, but see, I have, you know, some plants in here, and another one of those brain corals making oxygen just in case I want oxygen while I'm in there. There's some graphical artifacts you can notice when the bubbles come up. Notice the bubbles explode into midair, which is kind of weird. And let's go check out the nursery. I think, scanned absolutely everything, blueprint-wise, so I've built all the things that you can build, except for a wall planter. I can't find those. But this is the Reginald tank. The Reginalds have the highest food value of anything in the game. And then here's some plants. I have some stuff that's just, you know, for prettiness, these voxel shrubs. Probably called that because this is a voxel-based game. And I have a chip dispenser, but I don't have any money, so I can't get any of the chips in there. And there's the trash. I'm really pissed off about the trash can because when you build a brand new trash can, it has... Can I do that right now? I'll show you later. When you build a new trash can, it has all of the trash in there already. And this is annoying because this is all there is, but that S keeps getting taken off. But here's some other, you know, just plants. This is not all the plants that there are in the game. But I don't want to bother with building a complete catalog of everything. And I do think it's weird that, you know, these Chinese potatoes, because they don't look particularly Chinese, they just look like roots. But apparently, they came over on the plant with us. So, we are leaving the nursery and we are heading into the fuel section. As you recall, I have a bioreactor. And this is my bioreactor's fuel. I come in here and I grab a fish. And swim around from it's really cool because, you know, like, you're just in here with all these fucking fish. And if this were real, for one thing, you'd be dead because all these fuckers would be killing you. Like the electric eels, they'd kill you. These gas pods would be farting on you, killing you. So it's kind of a little bit unrealistic. But then I take that little fish that I grew from an egg, because you can find eggs laying around, and I come to the bioreactor and I throw him in with his fellows. And you will notice he is not the only one. I have many corpses left behind. Construction in the game is kind of easy. You have a little construction device that I have equipped, and you just pick from a menu. Oh, I did find the wall planter. Cool. And you know, you can build a trash can that already has trash in it.